Hi and welcome to my tutorial video on this trio of lovely desktop items. I've got this box here which opens to reveal a pocket, and inside that pocket there is, I'm still covered in glue, there is this opening little folio here that can be used to store your whatevers, and then there's this box, this section box with its three sections at the bottom here that you can pop your other whatevers in. That's really pretty. It's got a hinge and it's got a lovely bottom as well. And then we have this trio of little boxes that sit in their own tray. We've got two that look like this, and then we've got this taller one in the middle. They all sit in this tray, which can be used for all kinds of different storage, whether that's your craft materials. This would make a lovely little bedroom set as well. It's really pretty. And then finally we have this box with expanding file folios. Now I've only made 3 for the purposes of the video, but you can see that there's room easily for another 3 there, and lots of stuff. You can store lots and lots of stuff and bits and bobs in there, whether that be jewellery or ephemera or whatever you might want to use these for. They've got all sorts of uses, and inside there's a couple of little wallets here to keep very small bits in. So that's that, and this is this set of 3, difficult to get across on a video, but I'll take some photographs as well so you can see them when they're in a desk type situation. So there we go. I hope you love those. I hope you come along on this creative journey with me and make this very special little trio of desktop items. Hi, so a quick run through of the printables. This is the base, the front and the back of the box. I'm printing on 250 grams throughout. If you want to go for 300 on this piece and this piece, then you do that to make a sturdier box. I'm also reverse printing all of these pages with this pale backing. So that's those 2 pages, that's the sides of the box. These are the expanding files themselves, and there are 3 of those, also reverse printed. So here are all my pieces cut out. Let's have a look at the actual expanding file folders first. This is one I've put together already. I've thumb cut it, I've rounded off the corners, I've just given it some light ink on the edge, and these are the expanding pieces here, and it's also got a gusseted bottom, so you really can get quite a lot of stuff in there. They're great. And there is this tab top. You get one of those on each of the pages as well to go on the top there. So let's have a look at how we actually construct this thing by working on this one. So first of all, I'm going to turn it over. Now I've creased all the lines that you can see here. There's 1, 2, 3 there. There are 2 here. That's the gusset for the bottom. And then obviously there are 3 on the other side. So I'll start by folding this bottom gusset like this. And then the expanding bits on the side simply fold in and out and in again, like that. So in and out and in again, and then we'll pop some glue on these little flaps at the end here. And the thing to be mindful of here, which I'll show you now, is that you don't just fold up one flap to meet the other flap, because you've got to take the gusset into account. So you need to be lining up the top of this section here with the top of that flap, and the same on that side, because you've got this gusset to account for, and then you can press these 2 little bits together. That works quite well. Bulldog clip if you want to, or let your glue go tacky. I've done neither. So there we are, that's that. Now you can, I should have actually rounded the corners before I stuck that together. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that now. Yes, I am just. I like a rounded corner. And I'm also thumb cutting mine in the middle. Bit of a shame for that one, because I'm going to miss that flower, but I do like a thumb cut. So I'll do that about the same kind of depth, if I can get it in there, as the one. Look at me losing that flower, what a shame, what a shame. Yeah, I'll do that to the same depth, and then I'm just going to apply a little bit of ink to these edges. And I will make the other one up the same, and then I've got my 3 expanding files complete. Obviously your box is going to hold more than 3. You've got 3 different designs, and you can print off as many of these as you want or need. I've got these little bibbies here, these little tab toppers that I've folded in half. I've rounded my corners, I've popped glue on both sides, and now I'm just going to position those in place. So one goes right at the very, very end. You can put them as low down or as high up as you want them. I'm going so that the little white label on the top there is just kind of level with this bit here. And then the next one, I'm going to line up with the first one and pop that like that. Make sure I'm all nice and lined up there. Pop that one on, and then the third one, same deal. I'm going to pop this one on the end, the right way round. Pop this one on the end. And they've been designed so 3 of them fit on a length like that. But if you're going to be using more expanding files, which I am sure you will, then you just repeat that process, and they're all nice and staggered like that. Looking great, looking fab, really, really happy with it. Right, let's move on to the box. Oh, before we move on to the box, actually, I've got these 2 little bits here. Now, these 2 little bits came about really because I putted the pockets on a page, and I had space on the page, and I don't like leaving white paper, as you might know by now. I like to fill that page up for you, go that extra mile, and really give you that extra little bit of something. So these pockets, I'm going to thumb cut. I've already thumb cut one of them by the looks of it. So I'll thumb cut that little guy in the middle, about there, quite shallow. Tiny little bit of ink, tiny little bit of ink. And yeah, so I've designed these little guys because these file folios I originally intended to be like little ephemera holders. That's why they've got the depth, because I know that we all have so many little bits and bobs when we're doing projects, and lots of leftover things when we've finished projects. And so I thought this was a pretty storage solution. But obviously, oh no, this is the one that I knew I cut short. I chopped a bit off the end accidentally, so that was always going to be short. Yeah, so I thought, yeah, a nice pretty storage solution for craft bits and bobs. But you could also take in other directions as well. The other 2 pieces that match this would make really nice, really nice bedroom set. The pretty little box would make a lovely little jewellery box. The little pots are just gorgeous for all kinds of different knickknacks. Doesn't have to be your craft products. Sorry, your craft bits. So there's the 2 envelopes that I'm popping in here, just for those extra tiny little bits that get lost otherwise. So that's what they're for. You can, if you want to, oh, that's a nice idea, Emma. You can actually glue that onto the front if you want to, of a couple of those. So there, we are done with the expanding folders and the little pockets. Let's construct this box, which consists of these 3 pieces here. Our box consists of the front, the base and the back, and I have creased this line here in between these 2 pieces of lace. That obvious line there, that obvious line there, and then again in the middle of that crease there. The sides are the 3 flaps, and then again at the middle of the lace. So this now is going to be a doddle to fold up, and I'm going to start by, I think, making my creases on these pockets. And they're not pockets, Emma, my creases on the side panels, and I'll pop some glue on there, and I'm going to let that go tacky. There we are. Now my pieces have had a chance to go tacky. I have creased and folded the base of my box up like this. The shorter edge here is my front. I've creased those as well, but I'm not going to glue those now. I'm going to glue those after, I think. So taking a piece of our box, I'm going to glue on this side piece first here. Line this up with my base, fold it over, generally mess about with it so that I'm happy of the positioning. And I'll do the same with this side here. I'll glue on all three sides, making it a little bit of a faff and a fiddle. And once I'm happy that they're nicely lined up, I can bring my front up, check my corners so they're nice and flush, and the same with the back. You can lie that down if you want to. Just line everything up so that all the edges butt up at 90 degrees and you've got a really nice square structure there. There we go. That's your box. Pretty much complete. All we need to do now is fold over these edges. And I've made these like this to give this box a little bit more rigidity. It's quite a sizable box for a single sheet of card with no matting panels on the top. So my box little tab tops have had a chance to go tacky, and I'm just going to stick those down in place now. And the reason I've done that is to give this box a little bit of extra rigidity, and also because I like to go that extra mile with the design and with the quality of the finished pieces, and I don't like raw edges on boxes, so this gives you a nice you may need to trim this little section here just a little bit. That's coming down on an angle, so that one's overlapping a little. Just trim that off. Yeah, I just think it's nice to have that that softer edge of the folded card rather than a raw edge. It just feels a little bit unfinished to me. So there we go, and you've got this little bit of lace as well on the inside, which also gives. So there we are, that's our storage box complete, and it looks nice with these finished edges. And this is 250 and this is holding up quite well. It looks pretty good. It doesn't look too flimsy. If you wanted to go for 300, obviously you can go for 300, and then we can pop our expanding file folders inside. I popped my little envelopes inside there. You can stick yours on the front if you like, and there you go, 1, 2, 3, like that. And you can, like I say, if you want to make more to go in there, you absolutely can. You can get another 3 in there, maybe even another 6. You could get another 6 in there if you wanted to keep them quite closed up like this. But if you want them jam-packed with all your bits, then I would say go for another 3. Print out another 3 file folders and go with that. But that's that complete. And it looks really cool. It looks really good. So these are the printables that you will need for the little trinket boxes that sit nestled in their own little tray. Here's the tray itself, and then you have the tall box here, and you will need to print out 2 of the smaller boxes. I'm printing out again onto 250 gram card, and that's what I would recommend. And also you don't need to reverse print these pages. So I will go and cut those out and we'll pop them together. So this is my box cut out. This is the tray that the little trinket boxes sit on top of, or sit in. So I've cut it out, cut these flaps here, and then creased here, here, here and here on both sides. Just a word about that. Don't make the mistake of scoring along this line here that's part of the design. Make sure you score where the white meets the pink. So there we are. So I can turn this over, and I am going to glue my matting panel for this base in place like that right now. And we can glue that straight down because we're not asking the glue to do anything the paper to do anything it wouldn't ordinarily do, and that'll sit on top of itself. Now the next phase of gluing is going to be these little tabs here on all four sides, in all four corners rather. Okay, now if you want to do yours in stages, by all means do yours in stages. Glue these pieces, then do that step that I'll show you in a moment, and then do this final step. But I'm going to glue all in one go. So I'm going to glue these end tabs on all four sides, and then I'm going to let that glue go tacky, and then I'm just going to construct the thing in one go. But like I say, if you want to do this in 2 stages, glue your little tabs first and then glue this, these pockets, these tabs, these little end flaps, then do that. Okay, I'm going to let that glue go tacky now, and I'm going to come back in a minute and bang it all together in one go. There we are, my glue's had a little bit of time to go tacky, so I'm going to bring up these 2 shorter sides to a longer side and glue that tab in place, and the same on all 4 corners. And I'm going to check as well that my edges are nicely lined up and I've got everything at 90 degrees. There we are, and when I've done that, I'm going to bring down the 2 long sides over the top of those tabs, gluing in hair, and stick those down. Oh, get out, hair. The hair's stuck to me and it keeps coming back. There we are. So glue down the 2 long sides, thusly, and then bring down the 2 short sides, and they will help stick the edges of the this hair at the very corners of your longer sides down. So that's your little box complete. Just keep going around those edges until they're all nicely glued down, and that's looking really, really sweet. Right, let's make the boxes. So here are my pieces cut out for the box. I've already made one up and it's looking rather lovely. So that's sitting in its little tray over here. Now then, these boxes, I've got some little matting panels that I've stuck already on that side. The other one's gone missing somewhere, so I haven't got one for that side, but they do exist. Now this box here, let's talk about this. Quite a standard foldy uppy box, so anywhere that's looking like it's got flaps, you need to crease and fold those. So that's these here. And then you're creasing all the way up these lines here, which are going to give you the 4 sides of the box. But before I go ahead and fold, I'm going to cut right down to where the pink meets the cream on these boxes. And my reason for that is this is going to be folded on the inside. If you want to just fold all of that together and then fold that form, especially because it's quite small, we're working on quite a small scale, things won't sit nicely for you because they've got to, your folds are going through 2 layers of card. So this, I find, is just gives you a nice neat finish, and you can't see where you've folded, where you've cut rather, when you've finished. Right, there we are. So what we're going to glue now, my dears, is these 3 flaps here. This flap here, and I'm going to let that go tacky before we actually stick it together. And I'm going to be treating the other box in exactly the same way. It's just a slightly taller box than this one. So I've put glue on those. I'll pop that to one side. I've got these panels glued here, and I'm going to start to construct my box now. So I'm going to bring this section up. I should have folded these pieces before I glued, but I haven't done. You go ahead and do that because it's the sensible thing to do. It just makes it easier on yourself when you come to glue, because you've already, those folds already know where they want to go. So there we are, that's mine done. So bring this bottom section up to meet one of your sides there like that, and just make sure that it's all sitting nice and flush and at 90 degrees. The trick to nice boxes is accurate scoring, cutting and positioning. So there we are. So when you've got those three pieces around like that, you need to tuck this flap inside. So just pop it in. Just pop it in like that, and then stick it in place. And now, when this grabs, have I even got glue on there? I have, and it's gone too far and it's dried. Let's pop a little bit more glue on. There we are. And now when you've done that, you can fold your panels. I'm not quite cut deep enough there. There we are. She says accuracy is everything, and then goes getting it off. There we go. And when you're folding after creasing, after scoring, just go with how it looks rather than where you've made your crease lines, your score lines, just in case you're slightly off. Right, now that we've got that like that, okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue these flaps. Don't really need to let this glue go tacky, because I'm not asking the paper to do anything out of the ordinary or stick in a place it doesn't really want to stick. It's just folding back on itself, so it should be fine. I like to get a nice gluey mess for this bit because I've got quite a... There we are. And when you've got your glue on there, you can just fold these pieces over and you'll see what I mean. The edges tuck nicely into the corners and you haven't got that double fold of card that really isn't very happy, doesn't really like doing it. So you just get a nicer finish doing it this way. And you can just push those little bits of excess card into the corners there. It's just a whisker. And there we are. That's another box complete, and that will sit in our little trio of boxes quite nicely. I have lightly inked this one and I haven't inked this one, so up to you to decide which way you'd like to go with that. Now I've got my last one, and I think I might have let the glue go a little bit too tacky with this one, but we'll see. So same thing again. I've got some black lines. If you've got black lines showing, employ a little bit of ink to hide that sin. There we go. There are my boxes. All three of them made and sitting in their beautiful little tray. So if you're using this for craft, for instance, it could be that you have a specific set of tools and pieces of equipment that you need for specific projects. So you have those in there, and then you can take those out of there, and then you've got your little bits and bobs. If you've got some brads you need to tip out, something you need to tip out to use that can then go back in its box. So you can actually use this thing, use it, and like I say, also great for little bits and bobs on a dressing table as well. So here are my pieces for the pretty box. This is the lid here. This is the base of the box. These are some matting panels for the top of the box and the base of the box, a pocket, the hinge, and a lovely little wallet, and some extra little pieces if you want to section the inside of your box. None of these have been reverse printed, and I'm printing on 250 gram paper, and I'm going to cut these out now. Okay, so I've got all my pieces cut out, and I've also creased where they need to be creased. Let's talk about the top and the bottom of the box first of all. Now then, you'll see that I've got these little pieces here that come out. You don't need those when you're cutting your pieces out. Snip those off. the piece actually will work with them in place. It's just a bit easier not to have them there. So when you've done that, right, you're scoring. Let's get my scissors to show you the scoring lines. You've obviously got this main box shape, so you're scoring all the way around there. And then there's a faint white line here, and another one here and here, and it's the same all the way around. So you just follow these faint white lines that you can see all the way around. So crease and then fold. Score and then fold. And make these creases, these folds nice and sharp, so that you're not wrestling with the piece when you come to actually put it together. So just do this all the way around. If I go really, really fast, you'll think that I put it on super speed on the video editing software, and I haven't. I'm just going super, super fast. There we go. Oh, one more side. And we're going to begin by folding up the long edges, and I'm going to pop some glue on this last little bit here, and the same on the other side, and I'm going to let them go tacky, and I think I'll do the same on the short edges as well at the same time, just on that last little flap. I think this is the base I've got, isn't it? Yes, it is. Right, I'll let that glue go tacky on these two long edges for a moment first. And then I'll begin to kind of roll them into place. This piece here is going to be sitting on the base. So you're just rolling it around until that piece sits on the base quite nicely, and it forms this square form, this tube, whatever that word is, like a cylinder, but it's a square shape. So that's that one there, and we'll do the same on the other side. You're going to get a little bit gluey here because you're tucking in a glued edge. There we are, and press that one in place and make sure they're all sitting nicely, nicely and snugly before you move on. And when you're ready to glue your top pieces, this is where it gets lovely and magical here. So you're going to bring these pieces up. This piece is tucking down underneath and rolling round to form this cube shape. And these two angled pieces here are coming up over the top, and they're giving you that lovely, lovely finish. It's a really nice box formation, and you can use this kind of box formation for photo frames, paper photo frames as well, and shadow boxes. God, I'm getting a right gluey mess putting this one together. So stick those together to the best of your ability, checking out your corners and your angles, and making any little adjustments you need to make there. But that's all sitting rather beautifully, and I'm very happy with it. So that's the base. I'm going to go ahead and do exactly the same thing with the lid. I'll show you again on the lid, a little bit more zoomed in so it's clear. I've cut off those two little outy bits on this last little flap here. I'll begin with, I think I've got glue on my desk. I'll begin by rolling up this long section here, tucking this piece under, rolling it all around to form this square tube here, like this. My glue isn't quite tacky enough, but we're going with it. So same again on the other side, roll it round and bring it back up to form this lovely deep box shape. And then when you come to form these, let's get this sticking down properly first. Come on, grab. There we are. So when you come to bring these two shorter sides up, that's when the magic happens. So you're rolling this around, alternating your fingers, because you're going to get a bit of glue on your fingers, and you don't want glue on the side of that box, on the inside of the box, if you can help it. So this piece here becomes this angled piece here, and it all just fits together really, really beautifully. Let's do the same on the other side. So I'm kind of rolling round this piece here, folding it round, and you can see how this angle sits on top of the other, on top of one of the long pieces, on top of these long edges here, to make this pretty seamless deep box. There we go. So that's the top, and these two pieces then sit on top of one another just beautifully. There we go. So they sit just nicely together like that, and we can now go ahead and carry on with the next bit. Now the next bit I would suggest would be these matting panels, and you've got two matting panels, one for the bottom, one for the top. So let's get some glue on here, and on this one as well, and quickly pop those in place. Would have been wise of me to have just checked that they fitted and I didn't need to trim anything down before I went and stuck the glue on, so maybe do that. But I'm feeling confident. And pop those straight in place. There we are, lovely. And the same with the other one. There's a pocket to go in the lid. That's the base. This is the lid. Let's check I've got it the right way up. So this would be, which way do I want to be the hinge side? There we go. So I want this to be the opening side, and this will be the hinge. So my box, I'm going to just fold up these tabs. My box, did I say then? My pocket. I'm going to fold up these tabs. Glue, 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 glue on all three. They're not going to sit in the normal place that you'd pop a pocket. This is going to be a gusseted pocket, and I'll show you how that works as soon as this glue has had a chance to go tacky. There we are, that should do it. Right, so with my box facing me, I'm going to open the box and flip it over so that I know that this is the bottom of my top. And rather than glue this pocket down flat, I'm opening these tabs at the side out to 90 degrees, and I'm popping my pocket flush with these sides, and the pocket tabs are going to glue onto the sides. And if I get a little tool, these scissors will do probably, I can just press on the inside, I can press these tabs into place, and that's it. That's your deep pocket, and that's lovely because that will then fit this piece that doesn't need any gluing. This piece here, I've scored where the pink meets the pattern. There's a little white line there, same on the other side, and then obviously there's a gusset here, and so I'm going to make this little gusseted wallet. If you want to glue yours shut, by all means you go ahead and glue yours shut, but it was designed to be a little opening when I've folded these. Oh yeah, it was designed to be a little opening wallet. I'm thinking if you're storing ephemera or something that you want to be able to get at quite easily, you can just open this and then you've got access. You've got full access there. There we are. So then this now sits very happily in there as this little semi-open pocket, and it closes like this. So when we open, this is what we're faced with. Now the next little bit of this, you can leave this box like this if you want and go straight to putting your hinge on, or you can employ these two pieces. Now these two pieces you need to score where you can see this faint line, and then you're scoring either side of this white decorative panel, and then there's another line here. For this piece is different. There's a line there, then you've got either side of this white space, and then you've got another line there. So I'm going to go ahead and crease those up, and the way that we're doing those is that the first one is coming towards us, and we're concertinaing this a little, but you'll see it'll start to make sense to you when you see how that forms like that. So you're folding the first one towards you, then you're going back and you're bringing that forwards, then you're going back on yourself, and then you're folding this last little piece forwards. But like I say, if that sounds complicated, just have a look at the shape that you're after there and it should make sense to you. And that piece is going to go in there like that. Now this piece is going to fold in a very similar way. I want to fold this towards me, then I'm folding back, I'm opening that out, I'm folding the next crease back, and then I'm folding the last crease towards me. It doesn't matter if you get it wrong and you go the other way, you can correct it, it's not a problem. And this piece fits in here like that. So now you've got a sectioned box. That works really well. So I'm going to go ahead, take this piece out, glue on the back of this. Now I know that I've got this panel here, and if you want to leave it at that and you don't want to section your box, you go ahead and do that. If you do want to section your box, pop that bit in anyway. It'll give you some extra rigidity. So now I'm just gluing the two spaces, the two pieces of card that are going to actually sit on the base. So it's this long piece here, the big piece, and then the very end little piece. So you're popping this in, sitting it down, then you are gluing this piece when you see that these two pieces are nicely lined up at 90 degrees. And whilst that glue is still tacky, crack on with this one because you may have some minor adjustments to make. My glue's just all spurted out. There we are. Let's get messy. Good job I've got 5 fingers and I can use others to do these jobs. Right, this is in the middle, so it doesn't matter which way up this goes, I don't think. No, it doesn't. So pop this in now. Then you've still got a little bit of wiggle room in the other piece that you've done to just fine tune these and make sure everything's sitting nicely as you want it. And there we go, you've got this lovely section box with its deep frame and these. Oh, it looks so cool, it looks so good, I'm really pleased with it. So the final thing to do with this box now is to put the hinge on. So we're going to close it up like this, and we have our hinge piece here. Now I've had to fold this by hand, I haven't creased this first, I haven't scored it first because it was too much of a fiddle on the way that I crease. So yeah, right, let's glue this. So we're putting glue on both sides all over this thing. So with both sides together, nicely lined up, I'm going to pop this spine on. It'll go over both sections of the box, glue that in place, and then whilst I'm sticking that down and encouraging it to to glue down nice and firmly, I can check out the front of my box. I tell you what I didn't do, I meant to put blooming magnets inside and I haven't. Never mind, never mind. I'll talk about that in a minute. So just keep going with that until that's grabbed and stuck. And there we are, so that's my hinge stuck on my box, well and truly, and now I have this beautiful, beautiful deep framed box. I really, really love it. Now I'm annoyed with myself because I was fully intending to pop magnets underneath where you couldn't see them, and if you have a look when you're making yours, you'll be able to work out that if you pop a magnet under there and under there, that will just close beautifully. As it is, my magnets are a little bit too big. Mine are 9.5, so I reckon you'd need an 8mm magnet to be able to do that, and you don't need a self-adhesive magnet either to do this kind of hidden magnet, because you can just put a piece of tape over the back and that'll work fine. So I'm going without a closure and without magnets, which has annoyed me, but I can't be too annoyed because I have made 3 absolutely lovely things and I'm very, very happy with them, and I hope that you really like them too. I've got this beautiful opening box with its deep frame, and I've got these 3 really lovely little boxes that all sit in their tray that matches this thing here. They're lovely. And I've also got my expanding file folders and the box, and everything just really works together really beautifully. I'm very, very happy with the way that it's all turned out. So I hope you come along with me on this creative journey and make yourself a beautiful, beautiful set of things. Don't you just love paper?